Neverify recently rocked their way to the title of Maidenhead Live Champions.
We didn't expect to get anywhere because we're playing with bands who are so much of a departure from our own music. I was just put on the spot and Gav just says, make a speech. Well, Will's clutching the 200 quid in his greasy palm. I forgot to thank all of the bands. I forgot to thank all of the supporters. I just said thank you for the money.
So who are they and what makes them tick?
To think when you were in the victory for me, I won't treat you right. I'll terrorize your fracture and armor.
The band name is my fault. I mean, Neverify is literally the words never verify stuck together.
So never be sure, never use like the band as a soapbox to project your own sort of political or social ideas.
There aren't many bands that I know of that kind of have the elements that we throw in. My background guitar-wise is sort of detuned extreme metal, but Gav as a drummer is very, very melodic and user-friendly when it comes to his style of drumming, and with Dan's ridiculous vocal range and Joe's ridiculous height. It just means that we've got something we're hoping that's going to become unique.
We're a collection of individuals who have different musical backgrounds. Joe coming from a funk background, Tim coming from the metal background, Gav's coming back from his background, and it just somehow works. And it's good to play with a bunch of musicians who are talented at what they do and are also very nice people.
And
Gav.
My first single was Right Here, Right Now, Fatboy Slim, so I'm quite happy about that. My second single was Alpha 65 Blue, which is awful, but...
A Michael Jackson record from the 80s. Something from his Bad album, I would have thought.
A Gary Moore single, Gary Moore the guitarist, who was a founder of Thin Lizzy back in the day.
Well, it was the 1988 compilation double tape, and it had Ship of Fools by Erasure on it. I think it was Jessie Grace. I think she's a local musician, I think. But it's sort of...
She's on our website, actually.
Yes, that was... And she just has like a lovely lilting voice.
Don't download at all. I am very much aware I've got to start. I've just started actually downloading stuff from my parents, and they've got an iPod and I haven't. My last record was the latest Depeche Mode record.
I'm not a downloader. I still love having a CD and a sleeve note, and I'm not going to get away from that, I don't think. I love it. But recently I bought Hypnotic Brass Ensemble, which is kind of a hip-hop jazz brass ensemble thing. It's really odd, but really good. Dizzy Rascal, Showtime. I bought them all at the same time. Tool and C6 Steve.
I do download a lot of music. I tend to sort of get it online rather than buy a hard copy, but I've had absolutely loads. Probably the last one I can remember is the latest Suffocation album, Blood Oath. Loads of, mostly death metal, to be honest, mostly heavy extreme metal stuff.
Either Mel C or Louise. I did like that.
That's more like
I did like that. I love that Naked song.
I was a big Boss fan. It's huge. and I've met them, which is great. You go through a certain stage in your life where it's really uncool to like certain bands, and then you get to an age where you think, well, who really cares? Because the whole point about any type of entertainment, if you like it, and so what? So yeah, for me it might be, other people might think that, I think it's cool.
The worst that I don't actually have anymore was Cisco, when he first came out with Thong Song. I think I was 12, 13, so at the time it was kind of popular music, everyone loved it, and at the same time those girls are not very much, and I'm only 13.
I've got loads of stuff like Europe and Bon Jovi and the early stuff, which and some really cheesy rock, but To be honest, now, if you asked me 10 years ago, I would have said Bon Jovi. But now, I really don't care.
He's very in control. Gives you so much confidence to be around, and he's an absolute superstar on the guitar.
My best mate, I've known him for about 20 years, I suppose, something like that. I've been in bands with him, a band with him at school, and a great guitar player, really good guitar player. Don't tell me I told you that.
Tim's like just a linchpin, and he's just generally that kind of guy. You know, the kind of person that if you need to know something or need to do something or anything, you just go to him and be like, Tim, help. He's too punctual. And it kind of makes you feel guilty because, I mean, I'm not great. I mean, Gav's the worst, but I'm not always on time, and he's just there. And it's so, you know, why weren't you here? Kind of thing.
I wish that you would let go a little bit more when we're having a few beers.
Still wears the same type of t-shirts he wore at school. Yeah, and he looks like the Edge from U2 when he wears his baseball cap backwards. So he's got like a baseball cap looking like the Edge. He's got an old school t-shirt and shorts. It works for Tim. It wouldn't work for me. He ticks every box for me. Absolutely every box. And he's got a phenomenal voice.
He is one of the most versatile frontmen I've ever seen, let alone play with. He really is. He's got an excellent range, and I think there's a lot more to come out of his vocal cords in time to come.
He's just an amazing frontman. I mean, all the way through the competition at Battle of Bands as well, he just gets praise after praise after. It doesn't matter whether it's judges or audience or whatever. I personally, it's great to watch him. Just stand back and watch him. He's fantastic.
He always wears shorts.
He can outdrink me, and he's far smaller than I am, so it's quite embarrassing.
Tori, my missus, she took him shopping to get him stage clothes, and he's come back with bizarre trainers and socks, and but still shorts.
Joe's very good looking. He's a very good looking bloke. He's also become one of probably the closest friend that I have, and he's just an excellent bass player. I couldn't believe that we lucked out with him.
He is one of the most widely sort of influenced bass players and musicians I've ever met. He likes everything.
Great bass player, good bloke, had many nights out since he joined. Same with Dan, actually.
Too tall. It's too tall. He makes me look just ridiculous.
Well, Joe supports Tottenham, so that's his bad thing, right? Joe's a Tottenham supporter. I've let it go, but as a West Ham fan, it was a bit touch and go for a moment. But he's a good bass player, so I've got to keep him in there.
Last two gigs, he's broken something on stage, which he's broken his equipment somehow. So we've had to plug on without him. Oh dear, Joe, I need to have a sit down and have a word with him about that. But that's really, I mean, the Battle of the Bands final, he broke his amp during our middle of the set, and we had to carry on without him. I almost got his P45 out, to be honest. A superb drummer. He's a top guy. I mean, he's probably my best friend, so I could say good things about him till the cows come home.
He's a lovely bloke, a genuinely friendly person.
Gav's just the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
He is, for a drummer, the worst timekeeper ever, and he will deny it. Sorry, Gav, but you will.
Falls asleep a lot.
He's worse than me. He falls asleep when he drinks.
So
he just slowly fell asleep in the corner, and we just watch him slowly fall asleep. Still beer in hand, you know, oh, bless him. And it's the cutest thing. He looks like a little baby when he's like that as well. It's beautiful.
We've got a really good foundation, so now we've got a bit of a head start with some money, which is going to go straight back into the band.
Yeah.
You know, the future is bright.
Is it orange?